Hello, hello, this is Vexx, and welcome back to Tyranny. If you may recall in our last episode, we were helping Verse out with her revenge for somebody killing her sisters. And in the result of that, we actually got the location of another member of that group, which is where we are here now. I still got the same group of Siren, Barrack, and Verse, so let's continue on with seeing about getting with Verse's revenge. Okay, hopefully there's no traps, which I'm probably going to run into. Oh, who's this? Oh, it's a group of them. Let's see what they have to say. Oh, there's a bunch of swords here. The tumultuous winds of the Edict of Storms reduce visibility to an arm's length as you press against the headwinds and into the torn strand. Silhouettes materialize in the swirling detritus before you, the sound of their approach swallowed entirely by the raging gale. The shadows resolve into haggard warriors, attired in ragged leather and tarnished bronze. One man steps forward, pulling off a helm to reveal a grime-roughened face of deep umber, cross-hatched with pale scars. "Old stranger, you don't look like one of Ash's inbred handmaidens, but you're no scion of the stalwart. So, who are you?" "Inbred handmaidens?" Barrack squares himself for combat. "I've heard worse descriptions." Oh, Verse. "Of course you have, you handmaiden of Narat." A sound like two stones grinding together emits from his helm. "Good one, Buckethead." "If you're finished," the bronze-armored warrior returns his gaze from your squabbling companions. "Okay, got a couple choices. As usual, we can just say I am Fatebinder Vexx. Who I am doesn't matter. Your mother didn't teach you to introduce yourself first? Say you can call me Vexx, leaving out our title. Well, we don't have this option as we are not a diplomat. We can just glare silently or attack outright. Well, I think I'm going to kind of intimidate him in a way and say that I'm Fatebinder Vexx. "One of the court enforcers in Stalwart? You're the one they say awake in the mountain spire." He glances to his soldiers as if they're sure they're still present before refocusing his attention to you. "What brought you down from your perch into the storm?" Oh, he is a little intimidated by our presence. We can say, we've come with questions for a warrior named Arissa, or why I'm here is immaterial, but I'm leaving with the head of an assassin named Arissa. Or we can say to Verse, we're here, ask your questions. I'm gonna let Verse take the lead on this one. "We want Arissa. Unless you want a few more scars on that ugly mug of yours, I suggest you hand her over." What an absolute paragon of tact! Siren's remark drips acid that makes your skin feel as if spiders crawl beneath it. And this is why I brought Siren. "Hollow threats don't bow through the unbroken union of stalwart." His soldiers ready their weapons and shields. "If you think I intend to surrender one of my soldiers to you, it's a misunderstanding I'm only too willing to rectify." All right, we can go. "I seek Arissa for matters of the court, and you will recognize my authority." Or, "This doesn't have to come to violence. We need to ask Arissa some questions." Well, it's definitely going to come to violence either way. We're here to kill Arissa. Or we can just attack and say, "I'd hate for my threats to come off hollow." Well, I kind of want to push our authority here, so I'm going to go with the first option. "We don't answer to the court at Bastard City. We are the Unbroken, and Stalwart is ours." Shouts of support rise out from his soldiers, and some of the warriors slap their weapons against their armor. "Let's show them why we're called the Unbroken." His soldiers let out a furious clarion and storm towards you. "Well, we're about to break them here and now, aren't we?" Well, I guess we're in for a fight now. Or, well, they're in for a fight. Alright, Vexx run up against this Diocles. First can join him. Tyranny, you can start casting your, or I guess using your wand against them. And Verse, bow on Diocles.
I am a shield wall unto myself.
Alright, now that they're all nice and close, Barrack, use your thunder funnel. And Vexx, why don't you try to use your stunning funnel? Tyranny, try to knock them down. And for good measure, Verse, help her out.
Do I really need to?
Wait, oh. Well, looks like we're not going to hit as many as I would have liked with our funnels. Oh well. Unless we got our fire funnel's going to work out well there. Lightning, ooh, I kind of don't like the way they've spread out. Not much we can do about that, unfortunately. Ooh, if I hit him with the Versus fire spell, she'll be able to hit 2 of them at least.
If I must.
Alright, and Barrack's out of magic. Well, he still has his taunt spell, which seems like they're targeting him anyway. Ooh, good job, Vexx. Oh, ooh. I don't know if I want to... Yeah, I think I want to get the melee guys up and burn in quite well. Tyranny can use the fire spell on them. And, well, Verse is out of magic. She is definitely not a magic user. Oh. You know what, Verse? I want you to heal Vexx up, because he is definitely taking a beating.
I'm on it.
We definitely like to target him. Or us, I should say. Oh. This is going quite easily, actually. They are not going to last long under this.
I'll do it right away.
Onslaught. Oh, yeah. How about any of your spells? Have any of them reset? Now, although Versa almost has a spell. Oh.
Junk.
Wait, what? There we go. Unfortunately, Tyranny's wand is not doing rod, whatever. It's not doing as much damage as she would like. Okay, let's try to stun him with Vexx. And Barrack, you can heal yourself. What is Tyranny doing? Oh, she's casting using one of her songs. I think. Looks like it. Oh, that worked well. Alright. We got this group down. Oh. Shit, none of these people were there when my sisters died. Verse surveys the carnage with a grimace. Check the bodies with me. Maybe there's something here that'll help. Oh, we got a new location. You search Diocles' remains, shifting the dead weight and ignoring the drip of gore to wrench his belongings. Your hand comes away wet, clutching a roll of parchment and a tightly wrapped bundle. What do you got there? Verse peers at the wet bundle you plucked from the corpse. How much further is this going to go, Verse? When will you have spilled enough blood? When she's dead, I'm pretty sure. We could read the note, or we could show Verse the note. See for yourself. Well, we already know she can't read, so let's just read the note ourselves. You break the seal and unroll the missive. The parchment is lettered in clean hands, the language surprisingly clear and crisp for a tearsman. I've got a new location called the Weeping Whispers. Diocles, or whoever succeeds him. I came stalwart with little I didn't need for the fight. Only these gloves, a trophy from a skirmish long past. Should I fall at Trapper's Junction, please see to it that they return to my sister, Clea, at our family's homestead at River's Break in Apex. Tell her to use them well, and that I wish I could have been there to deliver them myself. Thank you for this, Arissa. Now, we could say the same thing at the first choice. How much further is it going to go verse? When will you have spilled enough blood? Or we can say, Arissa wanted these gloves given to her sister, Clara of River's Beak. Or River's Break, sorry. Or we can just show her the note again. We already know she can't read, so I'm just going to tell her what the note said. Did you say gloves? She wipes the leather package and tears it open, receiving a pair of gloves of supple leather, edged with a series of sharpened bronze blades. Fuck, I've missed these. You know of these gloves, Verse? They belong to one of my Furies. Verse replaces the wrapping with care. So, Arissa had a sister. Sister for a sister, then. There's a certain poetry in it, right? Now we can ask her what she's talking about. Or say, are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? Or just glare at her. I'm going to go with the second option and make her spell it out. We need to find this Clara. She must know something about who Arissa ran with during the war, right? And who knows, maybe she'll turn out to be someone in need of a good stabbing through her face. Verse smiles, her eyes glinting. Okay, we got a couple choices. If we go to River's Break, we're not going in with weapons drawn. Understood? It has been a while since we gave someone a good face stabbing. Or keep it in your pants first. Or finally, you know you can't avenge yourself on a dead person, right? Killing your sister won't hurt Arissa. Although that is definitely true, I'm going to mention when we go there, weapons in the holsters, at least to begin. If that's how you want it, Binder, no killing until we know she deserves it, or until she forces our hand. Come on, screw this place. She gestures toward the road. Oh, Barrick, as you turn, a gauntleted hand rests on your shoulder. A moment, Binder. We can ask him what is it, or we can just say, not now, we're going, or glare at him. But I'm kind of curious what he wants to say. I've known Verse for a few years now. She's always been excitable. This is different. She seems rabid, heedless of danger, like the worst of the chorus, instead of the best. He shifts with a sound of blades grinding together. Oh, seems he really does care about his sister and admires her, well, her skill. So we can say, I noticed that. Your point being, or perhaps she's becoming who she's meant to be. But, well, I've kind of noticed that she's not acting like the Verse we know and, well, work with. What I'm asking is that you keep an eye out for her well-being rather than just yours. The massive man rolls his shoulders with a shrug. Though if Verse was my soldier, I'd want her as collected as possible. That may never be an option. Yeah, she's definitely a firebrand. We can say, thanks, Barrick. I'll do what I can for her. I'll keep your concerns in mind. Some people can't be saved from themselves. Or finally, we'll see what happens. Well, I want to say thanks, Barrick. I'll do what I can for her, because we want to keep her on the straight and narrow. Gain loyalty for that. Thanks for hearing me out, Fatebinder. Barrick nods, patting your shoulder. Alright, now I did notice there was something to loot. Got a couple of goodies here. Alright, now I will meet you guys. I will finish looting up this area, and I will meet you guys back at the next area for Versus Revenge. See you shortly. And hello, we are back at, well, I guess not back where we were. We are back in the next place for Versus Revenge, where Arissa's sister is. Guess we'll see what's going on here. Oh, there is one thing I believe I forgot I mentioned, after the last episode, the Seeking Sheath ability actually got upgraded. I can't remember what it was before, but now she gets an increased accuracy with both bows and dual wielding, which is pretty nice. Actually, I think I might switch to that. I mean, accuracy is much better than just an increased dodge and a bonus to your next attack. So, yeah, I think the extra accuracy is a good idea.
Yes.
Alright, oh, what's this? Scents of baked bread and vegetable stew mingle in the air. Through the window you can make out a modest dwelling kept with a kind and order on cleanliness. I can't read. Cleanliness one would expect of a disfavored command tent. Oh, we got a woman here named Essa. Let's talk with her. An older woman tends a small but verdant patch of farm. Plump gourds and vegetables of vine and root vie for soil and light with a fig tree, its branches drooping with what passes for abundance in the tears. The farmer notices your approach and takes up her shovel as if it were a spear, favoring her left arm with a wince. Careful, stranger. I'm no easy mark, and have little worth your time or blood. A few errant strands of thick gray hair, loosened from the band that tames the rest, frame her deeply lined face. She may be old enough to be my mother, but she seems herself like a... Sorry, but she holds herself like a warrior trained. Now we can ask, or say, we see Clara. We can ask her, who are you, or drop the shovel and tell us where Clara is, or just say nice farm. I'm going to ask who she is. I'm the one who toils the soil, mines these walls, and protects them with her blood. I'm supposed to be here. You're the ones who should be announcing themselves. She points the shovel edge at you. Feisty. I like this old coot. Verse grins. Girl, this old coot has split skulls twice as thick as yours. Good hearing, too. Now, I'm going to go with nice farm. Thank you for your kindness. We're shared with my husband before he died. Not much to look at, but kept the family fed. The woman's The woman's lips tighten. I can't read, apparently. Compliments ain't answers, though. Ask again. What brings you here? She jabs slightly with the shovel. Now, I'm going to just say, drop the shovel and tell us where Clara is. Now, that might be a little more antagonistic than I would have liked, so I'm just going to say, we seek Clara. Clara? Clara was my youngest. Why are you asking for her? She lowers the shovel slightly, her eyes widening slightly at the name. Was? Shit, don't tell me we're too late. I'll have you keep a civil tongue in your head, girl, while you're on my land. She jabs her shovel in Verse's direction as if she could seal the Fury's mouth shut with it. Sorry, ma'am. Verse blinks in surprise at her own words. Oh, Verse, you're easily kept. All right, we can ask what happened to Clara. Say, I take it your daughter's dead, or we can ask Verse if she's okay. I don't think there's a reason to ask this yet of Verse, but I'm going to say what happened to Clara. She narrows her eyes. Her fingers tighten protectively around the shovel. First things first, call me Essa, daughter of Asperia, and this is my homestead, granted me by Queen Vendaria Alentia in honor of my service. She swings the shovel's head to encompass the small plastered house and the abutting field. That's an introduction. You got one to match? She points the shovel back towards you. Now we can announce ourselves. I'm Vexx, Fatebinder of Tunon, the Adjudicator. Who I am, of no consequence. We could just attack. I'll introduce you to the void. I don't really want to attack quite yet. Or we can glare silently. I'm going to announce ourselves as Vexx, Fatebinder of Tunon. S's blue eyes widen in recognition. You're the one ascended the mountain spire. They say you hung a banner woven of golden light from the battlements. Wouldn't have believed a word of it if I hadn't seen the glow from here. She shakes her head. What does a Fatebinder want with us, the likes of me? I ain't broken the Overlord's laws. Essa crosses her arms. Oh, seems a little scared. I guess that makes sense. We can say, if Clara's dead, that's going to make it hard to fulfill Arissa's dying wish. Or we can say, we came seeking Clara, but that seems a doomed errand. Or we can follow Versa's lead. I'm going to go with the first one. Arissa. Oh, dear girl. Dear, stupid, blind, foolish, arrogant girl. A sob racks her sunken frame. How did it happen? What happened? We can ask what happened to Clara. You could say she died in stalwart, aiding the Unbroken against the forces of Kairos, or your daughter was a traitor, and we put her down like one. Well, we didn't kill her. So I'm going to go with she died in stalwart. It's my fault. I raised those girls on the romance of war. On tales of my bloodening the bastard tear and pushing back Azure. How was I to know your armies would come in their lifetimes, that the gates of judgment wouldn't hold, or that you'd stride into the tears with a man of stone who could step clean over a curtain wall? Even girls like mine couldn't stand against Kairos. There ain't nothing like the northern shadow before, able to crush mountains and call earthquakes from a scrap of Valium. There ain't no fight in that. I told them. They didn't listen, damn them. Of all the damn fool things I told them, the only thing they didn't hear was what mattered. She shudders with a sigh. Okay, we can say a mercenary named Cockris told us that Arissa hunted people for sport, that she displayed their heads on spikes. We can ask Verse. Well, Verse? We can say, what do you know about Cataris? Finally, you trained your daughters in the arts of battle? Or we can just kill her. Well, I don't really want to kill her yet. I'm going to ask about how she trained them. Aye, their father was a good man, but more suited to farm work than war. She looks up sharply. If you're looking for someone to blame, I'd be that person. I trained them up, taught them the flax, the javelin, and the spear and the shield. And they used that knowledge against your precious Archons and their armies. Hey, Essa? Maybe you'd like to shut the fuck up now. Versus lower lip twitches. Okay, we can ask her. What did you teach them about the Overlord? Or you use all this food yourself, or have you sold it to other people in the well? I'm going to ask about what Essa taught her daughters about the Overlord. That there's never been a greater threat to all of Tartarus. That Kairos represents the worst of the powers of man or woman. That such an evil must be resisted at all costs, by any means necessary. What? That directly contradicts what you said before. I changed my tune in my older, softer years. But as they grew up, I poisoned them against Kairos as thoroughly as if I'd carved it upon their hearts. Now, I'm going to, you can ask if she sells her food to the well, or anything else you want to tell me, or we've come to a decision. I'm going to see what else she wants to tell us. Naming a child for Kairos is a capital offense, ain't it? I imagine naming a pig for Kairos ain't know better. Care to meet Kairos the Overpig? He's around back. You see what's happening here, don't you, Binder? First sighs, her shoulders sagging. I'm curious what if she grows all this food herself. I sold some for rings, and without a Kairos damn license, too. Ooh, she is asking for trouble, she is. Well, I think I've come to a decision on her fate. I mean, it's her the only choice. What matter? There's no matter here, Binder. Please tell me you're not going through with this. Oh, it seems like Verse has had a bit of a change of heart. She doesn't want to kill Orisa. Or Essa. Okay, we can say a life sentence left to her grief. That's punishment enough. We can say, I find Essa guilty of fomenting dissent against the overlords. The sentence is death. Verse, carry out the execution. We can kill her, saying, I find you guilty of fomenting dissent against the overlord. Prepare to meet the void. Or, this is your dance, Verse. Pick the tune. I think I'm going to say that she's consigned to a life of grief. Gained wrath for Tunon for this, but loyalty with Verse. Verse visibly relaxes. Hey, so Orisa, she killed one of my sisters. I always thought I needed to avenge them, to make it right, because I failed them. But actually, talking to you, it's cleared up some stuff. I guess that's what I'm saying, is I miss my sisters, and you miss your daughters, and that's just the way of things. Essa nods numbly, turns, shovels towards her squat farmhouse. Well, that's probably the best of the bad choices, really. Alright, Verse releases a long sigh, bends down and plucks a round red tomato from a vine. Her thumb slides across its skin, then presses lightly against it. Dimpling the vegetable, she tosses it from her hand and turns to you. You can say that was some uncharacteristic hesitation on your part. Orisa and Claire are dead. What does that mean for your sisters, or are we done here? I get the feeling that commenting about her hesitation is probably not going to endear her to us. So I'm going to ask about what does that mean for her sisters.
I'm sure Whispers would have something clever to say about frustrated ambitions.
Verse shakes her head and chuckles darkly.
You ever have a friend who almost never speaks? But then every once in a while she slips in the perfect word at the perfect time, and it's the only thing you remember. That was 3 Whispers. She was our wiry, flickering shadow with hair like crow's feathers. Preferred close-up work. That was her name, her 3 knives and the sound of air from a punctured lung.
That would definitely sound like a whisper.
It's hard to remember stories about her because she never drew attention.
You can say, and yet, or enough reminiscing. Let's leave this place. I'm gonna go with and yet.
Her old favorite. That I remember. She'd trick a soldier into gutting his own comrade, then open his throat while he was in shock. Beautiful move, and I saw her dance it 12 times.
Whew, that's dark.
Whispers knew her histories and letters, knew borders and houses and heraldry. Even knew a few sigils, and kept us from bleeding out more than once.
She runs a hand over her feathers. She sounds like she may have known the Sigil of Life from Lentry. I guess I can't remember if it's the Sigil of Life or what, but yeah.
Whispers and me, we were more than sisters sometimes. Not often, and nothing holding. But yeah, she read a body as easy as a scroll.
Well, we can again go back and say about the uncharacteristic hesitation, but I don't really want to. I'm going to say that that sounds nice, because it really does.
Was nice.
Oh, and we gain loyalty for that. I guess the only options that we haven't chosen are to just leave or the uncharacteristic hesitation. So I guess now's as good a time as any to choose that.
I didn't realize you knew me so well as to say what is and isn't like me.
She smirks then and shakes her head.
I enjoy killing, Fatebinder. Doesn't mean I think everyone deserves to die.
Makes sense. Well, let's head out.
Let's.
She bites into the tomato, and a small bead of juice rolls over her chin. Alright, and we've found Clara. Or, well, what's left of her. And the Three Whispers stance is upgraded. Let's see what that's changed into. But no, that's not her. Ooh, she gets extra dodge. But I think I'm going to keep with the extra accuracy. Alright, at this point, I will end the video. I will pick up probably at the Bastard City next with our normal group of Siren, Barrick, and Lentry. As if you may recall, a couple of videos ago, we got asked to go talk with the people at the back of the Bastard City. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Anyway, I hope you guys have a great day.